Good morning, my friends. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a lovely weekend this weekend. The sun is shining, the tank is clean. It's Monday. All right, I'm in my office this morning. Rearranged things a little this weekend, and so now I started out because I've already had 3 meetings this morning. Oh. You just got the text, Mallory? Running a little slow this morning. All right, so we are on March 13th. Let's see. Moses forbidden to enter the land. Deuteronomy 3:21 through 29. At that time I gave Joshua this charge. You have seen for yourself everything the Lord your God has done to these 2 kings. He will do the same to all the kingdoms of the west side of the Jordan. Do not be afraid of the nations there, for the Lord your God will fight for you. At that time I pleaded with the Lord and said, O sovereign Lord, you have only begun to show your greatness and strength of your hand to me, your servant. Is there any God in heaven or on earth who can perform such great and mighty deeds as you do? Please let me cross the Jordan to see the wonderful land on the other side, the beautiful hill country and the Lebanon mountains. But the Lord was angry with me because of you, and he would not listen to me. That's enough, he declared. Speak of it no more. But go up to Pisgah Peak and look over the land in every direction. Take a good look, but you may not cross the Jordan River. Instead, commission Joshua and encourage and strengthen him, for he will lead the people across the Jordan. He will give them all the land you now see before you as their possession. So we stayed in the valley near Beth Peor. Moses urges Israel to obey. Deuteronomy 4:1 through 14. And now listen. I can't read. And now, Israel, listen carefully to these decrees and regulations that I am about to teach you. Obey them so that you may live, so that you may enter and occupy the land the Lord, the God of your ancestors, is giving you. Do not add to or subtract from these commands I am giving you. Just obey the commands of the Lord your God that I am giving you. You saw for yourself what the Lord did to you at Baal Peor. There, the Lord your God destroyed everyone who had worshipped Baal, the god of Peor. But all of you who were faithful to the Lord your God are still alive today, every one of you. Look, I now teach you these decrees and regulations, just as the Lord my God commanded me, so that you may obey them in the land you are about to enter and occupy. Obey them completely, and you will display your wisdom and intelligence among the surrounding nations. When they hear all these decrees, they will exclaim, How wise and prudent are the people of this great nation! For what great nation has a God as near to them as the Lord our God is near to us whenever we call on him? And what great nation has decrees and regulations as righteous and fair as this body of instructions that I am giving you today? But watch out. Be careful never to forget what you yourself have seen. Do not let these memories escape from your mind as long as you live, and be sure to pass them on to your children and grandchildren. Never forget the day when you stood before the Lord your God at Mount Sinai, where he told me, Summon the people before me, and I will personally instruct them. Then they will also learn to fear me as long as they live, and they will teach their children to fear me also. You came near and stood at the foot of the mountain, while flames from the mountain shot into the sky. The mountain was shrouded in black clouds and deep darkness, and the Lord spoke to you from the heart of the fire. You heard the sound of his words, but didn't see his form. There was only a voice. He proclaimed his covenant, the 10 Commandments, which he commanded you to keep, and which he wrote on the 2 stone tablets. It was at that time that the Lord commanded me to teach you with his decrees and regulations, so you would obey them in the land you are about to enter and occupy. A warning against idolatry. Deuteronomy 4:15 through 31. But be careful. You did not see the Lord's form on the day he spoke to you from the heart of the fire at Mount Sinai. So do not corrupt yourselves by making an idol in any form, whether a man or a woman, an animal on the ground, a bird in the sky, a small animal that scurries along the ground, or a fish in the deepest sea. And when you look up into the sky and see the sun, moon, and stars, all the forces of heaven, don't be seduced into worshiping them. The Lord your God gave them to all the peoples of the earth. Remember that the Lord rescued you from the iron smelting furnace of Egypt in order to make you his very own people and his special possession, which is what you are today. But the Lord was angry with me because of you. He vowed that I would not cross the Jordan River into the good land the Lord your God is giving you as your special possession. You will cross the Jordan to occupy the land, but I will not. Instead, I will die here on the east side of the river. So be careful not to break the covenant the Lord your God has made with you. Do not make idols of any shape or form, for the Lord your God has forbidden this. The Lord your God is a devouring fire. He is a jealous God. In the future, when you have children and grandchildren and have lived in the land a long time, do not corrupt yourselves by making idols of any kind. This is evil in the sight of the Lord your God and will arouse his anger. Today I call on heaven and earth as witnesses against you. If you break my covenant, you will quickly disappear from the land you are crossing the Jordan to occupy. You will live there only a short time, and then you will be utterly destroyed. For the Lord will scatter you among the nations, where only a few of you will survive. There, in a foreign land, you will worship idols made from wood and stone, gods that neither see nor hear, nor eat nor smell. But from there you will search again for the Lord your God, and if you search for him with all of your heart and soul, you will find him. In the distant future, when you are suffering all these things, you will finally return to the Lord your God and listen to what he tells you. For the Lord your God is a merciful God. He will not abandon you or destroy you or forget the solemn covenant that he made with your ancestors. There is only one God. Deuteronomy 4:32 through 40. Now search all of history from the time God created people on the earth until now, and search from one end of the heavens to the other. Has anything as great as this ever been seen or heard before? Has any nation ever heard the voice of God speaking from fire as you did and survived? Has any other God dared to take a nation for himself out of another nation by means of trials, miraculous signs, wonders, war, a strong hand, a powerful arm, and terrifying acts? Yet that is what the Lord your God did for you in Egypt right before your eyes. He showed you these things so that you would know that the Lord is God and there is no other. He let you hear his voice from heaven so he could instruct you. He let you see his great fire here on earth so he could speak to you from it. Because he loved your ancestors, he chose to bless their descendants, and he personally brought you out of Egypt with a great display of power. He drove out the nations far greater than you so he could bring you in and give you their land as your special possession as it is today. So remember this and keep it firmly in mind. The Lord is God, both in heaven and on earth, and there is no other. If you obey all the decrees and commands I am giving you today, all will be well with you and your children. I am giving you these instructions so you will enjoy a long life in the land the Lord your God is giving you for all time. Eastern cities of refuge, Deuteronomy 4:41 through 43. Then Moses set apart 3 cities of refuge east of the Jordan River. Anyone who killed another person unintentionally without previous hostility could flee there to live in safety. These were the cities: Bezer on the wilderness plateau for the tribe of Reuben, Ramoth Gilead for the tribe of Gad, Golan in Bashan for the tribe of Manasseh. Introduction to the Law, Deuteronomy 4:44 through 49. This is the body of instruction that Moses presented to the Israelites. These are the laws, decrees, and regulations that Moses gave to the people of Israel when they left Egypt, and they camped in the valley near Beth Peor, east of the Jordan River. This was land formerly occupied by the Amorites under King Sihon, who ruled from Heshbon. But Moses and the Israelites destroyed him and the people when they came up from Egypt. Israel took possession of his land and that of King Og of Bashan, the 2 Amorite kings east of the Jordan. So Israel conquered the entire area from Aroer at the edge of the Arnon Gorge all the way to Mount Sirion, also called Mount Hermon, and they conquered the east bank of the Jordan River as far as south as the Dead Sea below the slopes of Pisgah. The 10 Commandments, Deuteronomy 5:1 through 33. Moses called all the people of Israel together and said, "Listen carefully, Israel. Hear the decrees and regulations I am giving you today, so that you may learn them and obey them. The Lord our God made a covenant with us on Mount Sinai. The Lord did not make this covenant with our ancestors, but with all of us who are alive today. At the mountain, the Lord spoke to you face to face from the heart of the fire. I stood as an intermediary between you and the Lord, for you were afraid of the fire and did not want to approach the mountain. He spoke to me, and I passed his words on to you. This is what he said. I am the Lord your God who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of your slavery. You must not have any other God but me. You must not make for yourself an idol of any kind, or an image of anything in the heavens or on the earth or in the sea. You must not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, who will not tolerate your affection for any other gods. I lay the sins of the parents upon the children. The entire family is affected, even children in the third and fourth generations of those who rejected me. But I lavish unfailing love for thousands of generations on those who love me and obey my commands. You must not misuse the name of the Lord your God. The Lord will not let you go unpunished if you misuse his name. Observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy, as the Lord your God has commanded you. You have 6 days each week for your ordinary work, but on the seventh day is a Sabbath day of rest dedicated to the Lord your God. On that day, no one in your household may do any work. This includes your sons and daughters, your male and female servants, your oxen and donkeys and other livestock, and any foreigners living among you. All your male and female servants must rest as you do. Remember that you were once slaves in Egypt, but the Lord your God brought you out with his strong hand and powerful arm. That is why the Lord your God has commanded you to rest on the Sabbath day. Honor your father and mother as the Lord your God commanded you. Then you will live a long, full life in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You must not murder. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal. You must not testify falsely against your neighbor. You must not covet your neighbor's wife. You must not covet your neighbor's house or land, male or female, servant, ox or donkey, or anything else that belongs to your neighbor. The Lord spoke these words to all of you, assembled there at the foot of the mountain. He spoke with a loud voice from the heart of the fire, surrounded by clouds and deep darkness. This was all he said at that time, and he wrote his words on 2 stone tablets and gave them to me. But when you heard the voice of the heart from the heart of the darkness, while the mountain was blazing with fire, all of your tribal leaders and elders came to me. They said, Look, the Lord our God has shown us his glory and greatness, and we have heard his voice from the heart of the fire. Today we have seen that God can speak to us humans, and yet we live. But now, why should we risk death again? If the Lord our God speaks to us again, we will certainly die and be consumed by this awesome fire. Can any living thing hear the voice of the living God from the heart of the fire as we did, and yet survive? Go and listen to what the Lord our God says. Then come and tell us everything he tells you, and we will listen and obey. The Lord heard the request you made, and he said, I have heard what the people said to you, and they are right. Oh, that they would always have hearts like this, that they might fear me and obey all my commands. If they did, they and their descendants would prosper forever. Go and tell them, return to your tents. But you stand here with me so I can give you all my commands, decrees, and regulations. You must teach them to the people so they can obey them in the land I am giving as their possession. So Moses told the people, You must be careful to obey all the commands the Lord your God, following his instruction in every detail. Stay on the path that the Lord your God has commanded you to follow. Then you will live long and prosperous lives in the land you are about to enter and occupy. All right. That's the Bible reading. Let's go ahead and read our daily devotional of Unshakable. We are on day 72. If you're new here to devotions, this is the book we're reading. It is With Permission by Christine Caine, and it's a daily devotion about being unshakable in a world that is trying to shake you down. All right, March 13th, living an intentional life. Ephesians 5:15 through 16 says, So be careful how you live. Don't live like fools, but like those who are wise. Make the most of every opportunity in these evil days. Today's verse tells us that God wants us to lead intentional lives, believing and understanding that he has a unique plan and purpose for us. So be careful how you live. Don't live like fools, but live like those who are wise. Make the most of every opportunity in these evil days, Ephesians 5:15 through 16. And he wants us to live intentional life daily. He wants us to live knowing we are a product of eternity, positioned in time, and given giftings from God to serve our generation, inside the normality of our daily routines. This is what makes everything in our lives have meaning. Our parenting, work, school, relationships. Inside our day-to-day life is where our influence resides. When we share a meal, encourage a friend, cheer someone on to greatness, when we train our children, lead our teams, or inspire a lost coworker. And approaching those moments with intentionality is how we fulfill our purpose and reach our destiny and help others reach theirs. As you step into your today, stay focused on living an intentional life. God, thank you for caring about the details of my life. As I walk, make me careful to get the most out of every interaction and opportunity. I like that. I like it. Not just going about our life, flying by the seat of our pants and just flying through everything and ignoring God's words to us and ignoring God's leading, like making the most of every single opportunity. That is something I have mindfully been pursuing these last couple of years, is making the most out of the time that I'm given and following his leading. All right, let me read through the chat here. Look at all you beautiful ladies. Let's see, Mandy. Lady's dad is going into open heart surgery to have valves replaced tomorrow morning. Absolutely, Mandy. We will be praying for your dad. Yeah, Bonnie. Bonnie can relate to that, just how scary that is. We will all be praying for your dad. If you are not part, you, Mandy, or anyone else are not part of the Marco Polo prayer group, it's called Joyful Prayer Warriors. If you're not part of that group on Marco Polo, go sign up on my website. You just sign up and it will send you a link to that Marco Polo. And it is a great place to put your prayer requests and then to get on and pray for other people. And there's so much encouragement and support on there. It's not nearly as active as it could be. And I would love to see it just explode, because you guys, there is power in prayer, and there's specifically power when two or more are gathered. So when we gather together and pray for the needs of those around us, there's power in that. The Bible tells us that there is power in that. So speaking of prayer, let's go ahead and end our morning together in a word of prayer. Father in heaven, we thank you so much for today. Thank you for the blessings that you've given us already today as we've started off our week. I pray that you will be ever present in our day, helping us to remain focused on you as we go about our jobs, as we go into the community, as we minister specifically to our family. I pray that you will keep our eyes focused on you and help us to live with intentionality, focusing our energy and efforts on the things that you want from us during the day, because you have promised that if we keep our focus on you, you are going to bless us for that. So I pray that you will keep us just focused on you with our mind and our words today. I pray for Mandy's dad as he is preparing today for surgery tomorrow. I pray that you will keep him calm, keep him safe through the surgery, keep the doctor's hands steady and give them wisdom as they operate on Mandy's dad, and keep Mandy at peace over this, because we all know how stressful it is to watch a parent go through this type of surgery. I just pray that you will keep Mandy aware of the fact that prayers are surrounding her today and tomorrow, and give her comfort and peace during this time. I also pray for Susan Hilgeist, one of my admins who is in surgery today. I pray that you will keep her at peace, give her comfort. I pray that the surgery will go smooth and quickly, and her recovery time will be quick, and that you will help us to minister to her however we can. And I pray for her husband as well, who is facing health issues, that you will also bring healing and peace to him. And I pray that you will be a shining light of your love to her husband during this time while she is down and out. I love you. Thank you for everything you do for us. Thank you for being our God. In your precious name I pray. Amen. All right, my friends. Listen, I know there are a lot of new folks here this morning. My intention is to do devotions later now. I did it at about 8:30 this morning because I have a vet appointment for Sebastian, but typically I plan to go around 9 a.m. So if you would like to receive a text when I go live for devotions and you're not already signed up, go to my website, Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Posting up people's comments on the screen. Go to my website. It's joyfullifewithkj.com, and you can sign up for text notifications. At the very top of the screen, there's a place to put in your cell phone number, and I will text you when I go live for devotions every day. I hope to see you all back tomorrow for more devotions. I love you so much. I do plan on going live to cook later, but I have to run Sebastian to the doctor's appointment. My goal this week is to make Girl Scout cookie coffees all week. So join me for that. I still don't know what flavors of cookies there are because I'm going to wing it because that's what I do. All right. I love you all so much. Have a blessed day, and I will see you back for devotions tomorrow and hopefully see you later for breakfast or, well, for coffee. All right, guys. I love you so much. Bye.